see us live yet.
From a movie, by the way.
Oh, there it is. I just have to refresh.
I think it was late
And
90s,
this,
early
oop,
2000 action movie.
hold on. I forgot to adjust one
On
thing.
air.
I will do that. Holy jeez, look at this. Welcome, internet.
What's Vinny gonna be? Oh my
I
god.
don't know. We're gonna put him
Is it
down
happening?
here though.
You'll have to wait and find out.
We
Ooh,
What's the
Mr.
over-
Voice.
What's
Ooh.
the over under on a barbarian?
What's his name backwards?
Yeah.
Bones goes here.
All I'm gonna
Logo
say
goes
is
here.
my name's gonna be very easy to spell.
Perfect.
Ooh, I bet it has 3 letters.
17
Ben.
letters.
Are you
One
spying,
vowel,
you goddamn little shit?
16
No,
consonants.
no.
Oh my god.
All right, there we are. We're good to go.
All right. We're back with When Black Roses Bloom. A dreary and really quite depressing campaign. Oh, they fought their way through. We have a new player, a new guest, new person.
Victim.
That's more like it for this campaign.
Aaron's here. He's gonna be jumping in. So let's get to it. And I'll help you. I'll let you know when you're. Any questions, concerns, comments, notes?
Plenty.
We lost him. You
Where
said something terrible. Never seen a little orange exclamation point that popped up. That was. So you guys were, you guys had made your way, finally had made your way to the Forgotten Desert, the domain of Senmet, Pharaoh Senmet, looking for a way to get into the Ivory Tower, pyramid tomb made of white stone. You're in the town of Ankara, where you investigated a few options. You found out about joining their religion here. They worship the sun, soul.
SOL?
Yep, and they are led by High Priest Kefri. You heard you could join and go through the ceremony of cleansing, and that would they bring you into the Ivory Tomb. And I'm not sure if there's other ways in or out. They
So I think the plan was go to bed, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna say it's the next morning. Everybody took
Okay.
a long rest.
Okay, sweet. So we gotta find Khalid.
Khalid's the guy who could take you there.
Yeah. Good morning. What are we doing?
Yeah, so our options are pretty limited. It seems like the only way that you can get close to the situation is to go and fake our way through this ritual or embrace it. The other random things, remember we picked up, was that every 100 days the moon comes out along with the different dozens of the night.
Yeah. That was in like
So-
3 days, they said, right?
It's 3 or 4, I thought.
Yeah, something like that. Do we remember? Ren, what was it?
What'd you say now?
How many days till the moon?
I think you guys had more than 3 days. I think it
Oh
was-
no, you're right. Wasn't it like 2
I think it
weeks?
was yeah, I think it was like 2 weeks. Fortnight.
Yeah, no, you're
Use
right.
the word
Yeah.
fortnight.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
14
days.
cycles.
13 days now, yeah. Cycles,
yeah.
whatever you want to call them. They
13
don't even have
cycles.
cycles. They call them, they use some, I don't know. They use, what are they called? Fan timer things.
Yeah, it's just,
Hourglass.
there's just one big ass.
A giant hourglass
that keeps the time.
turns every 12 hours.
That's awesome.
Oh,
There
boy.
we go. And everybody just goes
Bang.
off that. Solved.
And- so,
2 weeks.
right.
What do we
we
can.
have to.
But we could do the ritual at any time. It seemed like.
Yeah. Well, we don't even know. We just know that when stuff goes black in 2 weeks, it could create some sort of an opportunity for us,
Hmm.
um, or be a time of danger for us. But it feels like
Or
our
both.
only path forward is this ritual. Um, can we like fake convert? Can we like not fully?
I wonder if there's a way we can find out what the ritual actually consists of.
Yeah, we're thinking they're gonna go leave us in the freaking desert until we like crisp up to death.
Yeah, or until we die and they bring us back to life with a curse on our bodies that enslaves us to them forever.
Just send them.
I mean,
I don't know
aren't
about you
most
guys, but
most ritual?
I
What?
got go ahead.
Yes.
No, which
Nope.
one? What?
I was just saying, like most rituals, back home. I mean, it's nothing. It's just all hysteria.
Yeah,
They just want you to make you believe it. So if you don't believe it, then hopefully nothing happens, right?
Mm.
Sorry, yeah, the sand is Alana everywhere. Trust me.
I'm shaking out my armor before I put it back on. It's everywhere.
So
I did see this ritual once back home, but that was back home and not here. I suppose things spiritually happen different here than they did back home.
What did you see back home?
I mean, when you do paladin things, you research things paladins go up against, and there's a circle, and they did some things, and they didn't get there in time. Thing came out. Things died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone lost a leg.
Hey. Well,
maybe we shouldn't.
I don't see any alternatives. I don't know if anyone else has another idea.
I think it's our only lead right now.
But
I say we talk to Khalid, maybe. See if he knows anything about this ritual or knows anyone who might know something about this ritual, and then see what we can learn and proceed from there.
I need the delivery guy.
Ren leans in. He's like, I don't want to. I think this gentleman. Let's drop him. You just see that even though you've been very coy about it, Ren, his perception seems to be otherworldly. You guys turn and you see a figure sitting just casually behind you in a table. There's a beam, kind of one of the posts that's holding up the tent, kind of blocking some of it, and he leans back, is turned. You see like a frill. I'm assuming, right? Is that picture pretty accurate? I'll let you do the description. So you see like a frill,
Yeah.
and then you see a head kind of turn, and you can give a description.
Oh. I'm not so much looking at him right now. Rather just see on one shoulder is a small little pitch black snake head with bright blue eyes just staring at him. And I can turn my head over. I heard you happen to mention the ivory tomb. I'm sorry to eavesdrop, but it perked my ears.
Why do you care?
Well, to cut a very long story short, I'm an archaeologist. These kind of things have always been of interest to me. One of the reasons I travelled this land. I'll get up and go to move to their table, and as I stand up, you get to see a better picture of me. Read this description now. As I stand up, standing about 6.5 foot tall lizard folk. emerald green scales with a bright orange frill. Wearing fairly light clothes. Doesn't seem give off any protection. Quarterstaff in hand. And the snake kind of just circling round and finally coming to rest round his neck. Very similar bright blue sapphire-like eyes. If I may.
I'll stand
Yeah.
up. I'll stand up. He can sit down. I don't want to be near the snake.
Alright, I'm
Don't
just
worry,
gonna
he's
pull out,
harmless. At least to you, anyway.
I'm just gonna pull out Captain Drake's dagger and just kind of stick it in the table, and not do anything more threatening with it than that. Just motion for him to sit down.
I'm just gonna make Memnock show up on my shoulder.
Yeah, as you put the stab the dagger in the table, I kind of wave my hand out a little bit, and you see it get covered in a little bit of frost on your hand as it casts a bit of prestidigitation. There's no need for threats. I'm simply, as I said before, an archaeologist. I've come to these lands to investigate such tombs as this Ivory tomb. In fact, this was my next adventure.
We do intend to go to this tomb, but we do not intend to stay there, become a pile of bones ourselves. And anyone that would hinder our mission would find us a formidable party.
Oh, I'm sure. You all look quite formidable folk. Surely you can handle a fight yourselves. But I find searching such tombs easier with more people, more the merrier, they say.
What can you
I
tell
just
us
so
about?
happen to be going that way. I heard you going this way, so
Can you tell us anything about this place?
Or the ritual.
So you
Ritual.
can make sorry. You can make some rolls. So you have some base knowledge, but go ahead and give me either a history or a religion check. You have advantage on this roll.
We'll do history. With advantage as a 25.
Nice.
So yeah, you know a lot about it. So you haven't been, well, yeah. So you know as much as you can know about it. You definitely piqued your interest. It's been here since time immemorial. Nobody can remember a time when it wasn't there or when it was built. And that it is kind of like the home base for the what do you call it? The theocracy. Is that right? And that's
Yeah.
what you kind of get the feeling that this is what it is, right? Like that everybody kind of follows. So Sol, the sun god, and all that. What you've also learned is, and this is kind of not talked about a lot. This is kind of new. Is that the sun used to set. Like it wasn't always like apparently in legends and in your writings and your I'm sorry your the stuff you've been reading and stuff the history books and stuff that you've been studying and as archaeologists do looking for information on and so but and that the purpose of it being white was to be brilliant and shine through what else you know now is that apparently this this was hundreds of years ago what I was just saying, but this high priest Kefri is kind of running the show. Sinmed hasn't been seen for centuries, and it's really kind of a militaristic theocracy now, as there are a lot of dangers and threats that come from the desert and the sands, but they also kind of rule over this religious religious control. What you know is that it's like it's very fortified, very hard to just get in. Like there's literally like the kind of some of the army is just based there and trained there and like around the. So it is kind of like the center of it. What else you know that isn't common knowledge is that there are more. There's the main area that people have been in and come out of, like going through the ceremony and stuff, and then but there are deeper areas. And that's what you're quite interested in. And you think you have some insight into how things work. Like you don't know exactly, but you actually recognize some of this from your own history from where you're from. It's weird that you're in this lost place, but this is like ancient history from where you're from. And so you have some insight on it for that as well. So one more thing I'll say, you'll know if you're telling them this, if you're kind of offering your information.
Yeah,
that you have.
so
Yeah.
during this whole explanation, I'm here like one moment. I pull out a book, then I get this map out and scroll it. I'm doing the whiteboard with all the
No, you're doing the national
explanation.
treasure, like, and you can see here, and then when you bring it together, it creates the amulet, Goonies style.
I'm just going off and on and on and on
Yeah.
and on.
It's like Journey to the
About-
Center of the Earth, where like they have to combine the 3 different books.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I end up getting distracted and going a little bit more in depth into this one part about all this history. But then I come back and then start explaining this other part. Now that's interesting, and then kind of start getting off track a little bit.
We have to be like, okay.
Yeah, bring it back in. Bring it back in.
I'm falling
you gotta
asleep.
Understand the as you wrangle him back in, he does tell you as well that from your studies and your understanding, the ritual of cleansing is the ceremony of cleansing, rather. It's not ritual; it is the ceremony. By the way, you guys were, and whether or not what that means, and semantics, but it's the ceremony of cleansing. From your understanding, anything apart from committing, like, you think there's an aspect that of you kind of admitting your sins or your past transgressions or your and things like that, and then there's a cleansing ritual. I guess there's that word, cleansing ceremony. But you don't think there's any magic or anything that's forcing you. You don't know that for sure, but from what you're understanding, it's more like, kind of like Gideon said, where it is more of your kind of
Just a
ceremony.
show of faith. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, important to people, and to but also not necessarily something that's going to, but who knows. And then after that, who knows too. You also know once you're there, then you will have limited access to the very basic area of the ivory tomb. So.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Alana, gentlemen, it would seem that this individual here has quite the bit of insider knowledge that we lack. If Ren trusts him, then I can trust him too. What's your name, by the way?
Oh, I do apologise. It seems to get a bit sidetracked quite often when it approaches this subject. I apologise. Name's Usk.
Are you from here?
Yes.
Are you from? Where are you from, Usk?
Well, not from round here. Quite a traveller, I have to say. With tombs here, there, everywhere. Quite. Where did I originate from again? Huh. It's been that long. I've been travelling that much. It seems I've even forgotten that. Huh. Maybe one day I'll find myself back in those lands. Who knows?
What the rest of y'all think?
You only know the way in that we know, or you know another way in? What are you bringing to the table? I kind of feel like you're just hopping on board, and I know you got some information, but that's good and dandy.
He's right. If things get hairy, can you protect yourself as well?
Let's
We're here to
see
get
what
a
I
job
can
done. not protect people.
Well, he's looking at something. Damien, can we ask
Mhm.
Ren? Where
Yeah.
do we get the sense that he's shooting us straight on this information and his earnestness in wanting to accompany us to the tomb?
He does appear to be. Ren thinks that he's like, yeah, he just seems to really excited about the opportunity and see, yeah, to see the tomb.
Well, I have many capabilities myself as not just a simple researcher. Is your dagger still stabbed into the table?
Yeah.
I'm going to cast catapult and have a dagger just go poof into the ceiling.
That could be handy.
I have a few other tricks in my book. So
Let's. What do you want out of your visit to the temple? Is it just education, exploration, that sort of thing?
well, that's the thing. We never know what's truly in these tombs. Knowledge, history, the very knowledge of the ancients is a wonderful thing. As far backwards as they seem, some of their logic and technology is so vast past ours now. In some aspects, of course, not all.
Without
This knowledge has always intrigued me. It's why I travel. It's why I've always done this. So, personally, this is just for me to learn what's there. Knowledge. How did they build this tomb? Why?
excellent. So you're fully aware, and without revealing all of our designs, if you come with us, you might be making a bit of history, not just observing it.
Huzzah! Well spoken. You hear come from something. It sounds like it comes from Bungo, but not his voice. Around on Bungo.
Can you shut up with
Someone, you hear a
somebody?
couple people like, "Hey!"
My question, I apologize for my skepticism. It
No, it's
seems
fine.
that your desire to assist us is merely based on your own selfishness. And when we get to said points that you're looking for, does that also mean you're going to leave us high and dry because you got where you wanted to be, or are you helping us exit the freaking place as well? I mean, I'm just trying to keep it real.
Oh,
Like
that's a
glare, is that
perfect.
him?
It is a perfectly valid question. Obviously, you're sitting here enjoying your own conversation, and here I come, so good, interrupting and getting involved in this conversation. So, perfectly valid. I understand your skepticism. So, honestly, when I first introduced myself and we started talking, at first I was maybe thinking, might just been all going the same way. We could help. I help you, you help me. I get in there. I learn what we need. If anything does happen, and we do need to evacuate area as sudden due to miscellaneous reasons,
Giant rolling
then it would
balls,
also be my interest in getting out. So
spike traps.
yeah, I've run into a few of them. Nasty work, some of them. You see, I once visited this one tomb, and we had a really ingenious way of saying it, but I'll leave that for next time. Now, obviously, this is going to be our first outing. If you do partake in the offer of tagging me along, so it's up to you to decide.
I'll make sure he.
So, as I said, I do wish to get in and leave without too much harm.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want that. And if you decide to be a coward at any time, I'll make sure you do leave with harm. I care about these people. So.
You, my friend,
I love
haven't
these
been in
people.
too many.
Come on, it's okay.
You,
I know.
you, my friend, haven't been in one or too many tombs, have you?
No, I tend not to go in them at all. I think this
I'm
is.
still here. I'm listening.
This
You
is
did actually.
out of and
I'll tell you
That's a
once
good
of a
point.
tale. So this other tomb was one just before this one. I was investigating, went into many traps, like you said, spike traps, pitfalls. There's even a nasty one that if you stepped onto a certain tile, a blade would stab out and cut your Achilles heel,
wow, so this is
and
perfect.
then something would fall down onto you, and because your Achilles heel is cut, you can't move, so you're gone. I braved all that, got through it just fine.
This is great, guys. He is going to lead us.
If that's what you wish to make your assurances, fine.
What do you make of Sinmet now? He hasn't been seen, but
History or religion check, and what we're gonna say on this one is just a normal roll because it would normally be disadvantage.
any theories?
History.
Also, Bones is giving you like, when he asks that question, it's like total deadpan, just like staring into your soul. Yeah,
No.
yeah, just like
What about his
No, yeah.
third
Yeah,
eye?
it's fine.
There's no life
That's
behind that.
understandable.
Like his soul is
Yeah.
gone. He's just a
Yeah.
vessel. Wait, what? Got a
Woohoo.
badass gauntlet.
Well, the 19 plus 7 for 26 in
With
history.
History. After the
This is kind of my
sun,
jam.
it does seem in your studies that when it lines up that Sidmet kind of disappeared or stopped being seen or heard of, or around when the sun stopped setting. So that's some information.
I'll kind of
that most people
flip through pages. I've got notes here just on my thoughts if you wish to partake. I'll kind of spin the book
Ren
around.
would be all over the notes. Ren would be one of the a gentleman with who.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, right? He's a male, human male. He has just the most luscious and beautiful stash, right? It doesn't really curl up. It curls up ever so slightly. It doesn't curl in circles, but he's more stash than man at this point.
Yeah.
His stash has more personality
I guess
than Ren has ever had.
We could describe our characters if you need us to, Kieran.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. Yeah, so that you get an idea. Of course, I should have.
Yeah.
Happened
So
before,
Bones is high elf, extremely pale, very like dark jet black hair. It's long and stringy and sort of hangs in front of his face. He's in medium armor. We're dressed for the place we're at, so I guess he's in like robes and he has a turban on right now. He has a third eye on the left side of his head. I think it's the left side of his head, like on his temple. And he has an imp familiar that's always kind of like on his shoulder or Ren's shoulder, or just flittering around, and yeah. Oh, and he's you're muted.
Yeah.
And he's got this dark black gauntlet with a skull on the top of the hand that has like green emerald glowing eyes. And he carries around this green orb that has like it has dragons on it, and I imagine they like slowly rotate around the orb. Or blue, you're right, blue.
Blue. Could you read my lips?
I did. Yeah, I did.
He's just standing. Gauntlet at the orb.
Oh, not like
Whoa.
but like it's it's
Hovering.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. since you got that orb.
But yeah.
Yeah. So bones and yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Also something that Go ahead. I'll tell you actually at the end. It's something that applies to everybody. So go ahead and finish.
Yeah. That's it.
Is that it?
Bones.
Okay. Gideon.
I'm Gideon. I got. You can see some salt, pepper, hair through the helm and the plate that he is wearing. He's also got probably like just some nice like off-white cloth over his armor right now. Just trying to be prepared for the sun. He holds a glaive, a nasty glaive, and he's pretty weathered in the face. He's seen his days. Human.
Alana.
All right, so Alana is a tiefling female with almost like goat style horns, but they're big and they come out and around and back. And she has like two stubby ones. They're like cut off in the front on the top of her forehead. She has like shoulder length, like dark purplish hair. Like she has like palish purple skin. She has got bright blue glowing eyes. And she's obviously a paladin. She has a big kite shield. She's wearing plate armor that's blue, and it ever so slightly looks like it's like when you open the refrigerator, you see like the air come and look like it's coming down. It looks cold. She looks cold. She also has a sword on her hip that kind of does the same sort of ambiance, but it looks like it's like shadow is falling off of it. And she looks like she's always kind of frustrated.
And Bungo. You guys, everybody's also noticed Bungo's maybe 2 inches taller than he was. You're sure of it? You think he's probably got lifts in his shoes, actually. That's
Probably.
gotta be
It's
what.
a
Probably
Just
what
the
it is.
sand.
Yeah, he's just carrying himself. He's
Drinking
He's
water.
just not slouching anymore.
So Bungo, you look at this diminutive halfling, and he's just like a paradox. He's like, it doesn't make sense like how he's put together, right? So strung across his back, he has this magnificent looking mandolin, and he's also carrying other musical instruments. But he has this massive greatsword as well, and this person that looks like they have delicate playing casting fingers also is ripped like pocket Hercules style, and a mop of black hair and a beard and a kind of a shift to his eye that says, like, don't.
It's exactly what it says.
Yeah. There he goes.
He's got a good frozen.
He'll be back.
Oh,
Back.
Oh, he's
they
back.
always come back.
So he might cut you, is what I was saying. That's what I think I cut out. Got a glint in his eye that says, he could be really good, but he also might stab you in the neck when you're not looking. Yeah, just I think the main thing is that contrast between here's this small man with musical instruments and a massive greatsword. It just doesn't make any sense to look at him.
Literally.
Uh,
Nice.
You guys, so it's an interesting group, and then mustache. Imagine a man with like a mustache. It's an amazing mustache. I wish I could tell you.
A mustache with a man.
He's like basically just your average human plus mustache. If you take all male humans and just average them together and then put a big mustache on it, that's Ren.
and he smells.
Yeah, he does kind of smell, and he looks really, like probably like he's out of breath.
Anemic.
Yeah. He looks like he's like in chemo.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Who are we talking about?
Ren.
Ren.
Oh, okay. I was like, so that is the descriptions of these
Yeah.
gentlemen. Interesting indeed. Oh yeah, and Ren's. Well, no, that is not true. Ren has actually got some. So Ren's skin is very pale, almost bluish, like a light. Like if you really look, almost a light bluish, pallid color. And his eyes are all black.
Oh yeah.
And you would. I'm just gonna give it. You would recognize that it doesn't look like that's the look of someone who's been dead for 12 hours or 10 hours or where it's like they're clearly dead when you really look at them, though they look alive enough to not to not be obvious, but if to anyone who's ever seen a dead body, they would know. That's kind of what he looks like, even though other than that, you don't see any injuries. One more point I'll make is to anyone you can see it, which is most of them, they do have a small scar running along they all have matching scars that run along the top of their heads.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot. That's
Hmm.
right. Because Bones's,
You
I
guys
think,
had a fucked up experience.
yeah,
You
I
guys
think Bones's were a
experienced
little
torture
more
at.
prominent. Bones's stitches are a little more prominent because his was rushed. I forgot about that. So yeah, Bones probably stick out a lot.
Yeah, his was rushed, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's why he's got this third eye.
Hmm. Fair enough.
So, what are you guys doing? What are you thinking? What's your
I
plan at least? I know you got some options. So.
I I think we agree. Usk, was it?
Yes.
I think we agree. We would think be happy to have you join us, but we did meet an individual yesterday as well named Khalid. Are you familiar with him? He said he could guide us there.
Am I familiar with this, Khalid?
He seems trustworthy, at least to our lie detector. And could be good to at least have someone else outside, another person keeping watch or.
Do I know of, or at least heard of, Miss Khalid?
Oh yeah, you've heard of him. Yeah, you've heard of him. He's kind of a local. He definitely used to be a delivery. No, yeah, kind of like a message man. He knows the way around the desert as much as any man can. Though he's mostly retired.
Ah, yes, what was it now? He's retired now. What was it he used to do? Messenger. Yes, that's what he used to do. I've seen him running around a few times. Never had the opportunity to say hello in person.
The more the merrier, Ryan.
So what's your guys' plan to actually go to the tomb right now, or is that why you're looking for Khalid?
I think. Well, that's a good point. Good job, Ren.
No, I wasn't.
If we're
Just asking.
if if we wish to do the ritual, perhaps we don't need Khalid, because we would be escorted there, I presume. But if we just want to go, then we have to try and sneak in.
I don't think we have to sneak.
No, I
If
don't
we're
think so.
if we're going as converts, we just go back to the temple. Tell the guy we're converting. We'll go to the ceremony. They should arrange our accommodations or at least tell us where to go.
Yes.
And then once we're there, then when the opportunity presents itself, slip off with us to do a little exploration,
Yes.
see what we see.
Do we think? I don't know if Khalid would be interested in just being our lookout. What do we think?
I don't know if there's anything to look out for. If we
I don't know
have
either,
them,
but-
if we have the church, whatever, escorting us or giving us safe passage,
But if they find that we're gone and find out that we've gone deeper into the tombs, but
yeah, but Khalid's not going to go into the temple, right?
He's not going to
He's
be able
not
to
going to
tell
go in
us.
there with us. He was just going to get us across the desert or whatever to the location. So we could.
We forget him.
Here's an alternative. we could arrange for Khalid to hang out in the desert with an alternative means of egress. Like we have to get
To
out
get
of
us
Dodge
back.
quick.
It's not a bad
Yeah.
idea. Somewhere we
pick
could
people
meet.
off. Half-dozen camels.
Escape car.
Yeah, that can't cost too much.
No. We have plenty of.
Say
Before I finish
DM.
my sentence, I look over at us and I'm like,
Hmm.
we have plenty of.
Say
money.
DM. From what I know of old tombs and temples and of such, would I know of perhaps a alternative route in?
You can.
I probably wouldn't know without actually being there and investigating myself, but from previous
Maybe where the best-
escapades.
Yeah. You can make a history check again. You can make it with advantage.
Rolling hot with his histories. 25.
You would know that it would be that there probably most certainly is another way or different way or ways, and just because there's a lot of magic and history to every tomb. You would know that to find it, you would need some sort of magic, more than likely, from your just because you know like the way from your studies, it's very protected and defensible though, and there's some ancient magics laid onto it. So I think that's what you would know, that there most certainly is probably, and that magic you would almost guaranteed to need magic because it's just it wouldn't
Yeah.
it would protect itself.
You see, you all see me frankly flipping through my notes. I'll pull up a drawing of like a temple that I've previously been to that's not too dissimilar. It's one temple I once went to. I've first explored it the normal way as anybody would explore a tomb. But through quite thorough investigation, because I had quite a bit of time on this one, and found several different routes into or out of the tombs, and it made me think back. And I reinvestigated several of my previous dig sites, and I found similar options. So for May, I wouldn't know until we get there myself. There may be other routes to get into deeper parts of the temple than just participating in this ritual.
I have the beginnings of an idea.
But I can't give
Coming together. It's coming
a
together.
guarantee that
What
there
if-
is.
We know that the moon will rise 2 weeks from now-ish. And I think Bungo's right, that presents an opportunity for us to exploit it in some way. So what if we use this, the ritual, to go and set eyes on it, figure out how to get there, investigate, find perhaps the other way in, and then wait until the moon rises. I also should say you suggested that Sinmet, when he disappeared, that's when the sun stopped setting. I wonder if perhaps the moon rising has something to do with him. I look at Usk, we have other priorities going in there as well.
Of course.
Yeah, we don't know if this night, this long night, is. It could be that his powers are greatest at that time. It could be that his powers are the weakest. We don't know.
Could be.
But we'll get more information when we're
Also,
in the tomb.
just be when he's available.
True.
What do we think?
Well,
Possibly.
welcome to
There are many tales about beings gaining powers from the sun and moon and the several different star signs in the many temples I've explored. So, could be a possibility for any. Though I've never had the privilege of seeing this in person, but from the murals and texts that I've scrolled, who knows?
Oscar, what's the deal with the snakes?
Oh, this little thing. It'll slither down my arm into my hand and just kind of look around everyone. It's just a little pet I picked up one time, exploring. Found it injured, and it weren't harmful to me, and we seemed to have bonded. It's been by my side for God, years now.
So, this presents an opportunity, maybe just a few of us go to the ceremony and the rest go with Khalid and maybe do some research for another way in. If we're not looking for a fight, I can respect that at the moment.
It's not a bad idea, Gideon. Who would go then?
Well, obviously, Alana and I would have to be a part of each group.
Well, I don't think Alana would be very well fitted to dedicate herself to the sun god. No offense.
I'm so hurt.
I don't believe any of this hibbity jibbity anyways, so I have no problem doing it. I'll say whatever I gotta say if it gets me home. You know.
You spoke with him.
Sometimes the people who seem like the most unlikely converts are the ones most prized by groups such as this. So they might look upon Alana as a gem in their crown of wow, we converted.
Or it could tip them off and make them weary.
And then we kill them all.
Maybe.
If you're going with us, we haven't seen a lot of what you can do in battle, but I want you to be well prepared. And I think that this can be better used in your hands than in any of ours. And it just seems right. And I'll look to Bones and ask him to pull it from the bag of holding. Thematically, technically it's on me, but
Memnock pulls it out of the bag. And he's like in the middle of the table, pulls it out.
And we pass across to a staff with the head of like an adder or a snake upon it. It's a staff of python.
Speak the word and throw it on the ground, and
kind of
your little friend there will be the
lay on the table.
Snake around.
This is something that you can use, something that speaks to you.
Shit, what other magic items do we have that we can give him?
Human by a cleric.
The boots of springing and striding.
You know what? It requires human by a cleric, druid, or warlock, I guess.
I do appreciate the gift and welcome to your group, but I've a few of my own magical goods and seem to have reached the limit of what I can hold magic-wise.
Put it back in the bag. Fuck it.
Can't give this shit away.
Gentlemen.
Some beggar, you walk by some beggars in the street, can't eat.
Gentlemen. I Bones is having like a moment of realization. Right, look at everyone. We don't need these anymore. I'll take off their ring of mind shielding. Doesn't seem to me like anyone's losing their memory here.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
get
know.
that
Quite good
on.
accounts of history.
He doesn't remember where he was from.
Yeah. Do
Well,
you
everyone
have
else
you had any
does.
issues with memory loss?
Yeah, but that
You
just
know?
seems to be his scattered brain, not so much.
Okay.
Everybody
Yeah.
you met, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It's
That was
it's not
more.
so much. It's not so much memory loss. More of I've learned and read that much. It's just all come jumbled up a little bit.
The old
I'm
brain.
sure it's still in. I'm sure it's still in here somewhere. It's finding it.
Give me some time. I'd like to readjust. I'm just gonna. Can we short rest? Can we just say we take like another hour
Well,
and I can fix
it
the
was
attunement?
the beginning of the morning, wasn't it? Like when we.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think
We
there's
can just wake up.
any rush if we're looking to reattune to
Yeah.
new magical items, but let's all do it at once so that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gained
So
an
let's do
advantage.
it. Let's do it then.
I put the boots back on.
Well, let's think about what we can shuffle.
Yeah, if you guys are gonna attune to new items, go ahead. All right.
Okay. Anyone have anything cool that they want to? uh, so I have a staff of the Python that clerics, druids, or warlocks can use. I didn't notice that when I picked it up from Bones. I can't use it.
I can't sat either.
Damn.
Yeah, during this short rest, Usk is probably going to be boring anybody out their mind on facts and figures of
Yeah, I
previous
think
tunes and adventures has been.
if we're doing this like switching out, we really need to commit to a plan. Are we all gonna go in there? Are we gonna have some?
Here's
We want to hire
Split the party.
Khalib and have a team go look for different options.
here's my suggestion. I think that's a brilliant plan, Gideon. My vote is we hire Khalid and Usk, Alana, and myself go with him. Ren, Bungo, and Gideon go inside to perform the ritual. I leave Memnock with Ren so we can communicate. Us three investigate outside while you two investigate you three investigate inside and become great faithful followers.
Oh, I'm sure that'll
I like
happen.
I like enlisting Khalid. My opinion would be to have him as a Johnny on the spot hiding in the desert, so when we need to get out of there, and then we don't split the party, and with the six of us go together. But and we could just say that like the reason we're converting is because we're new to this land. We want careers basically as caravan guards, and we want to fit into the land. And it seems to have the blessing of soul is the best way to
We've already
do
told
that.
some of them that we're quite rich and from a different city.
Maybe
We
that's
need
our
to keep
plan.
that up.
Okay.
Perhaps we believe that our god died, and we wish to bring this new god back home to our people.
I'm just doing it because my friends are doing it.
Uh, you will come along to see the wisdom of soul in your own time.
Yeah.
Taking the first step is what's important.
I mean, if I'm being honest,
Huzzah!
I'd much rather pledge allegiance to this guy than the last one. So Sun's oppressive, but at least it's the sun.
Well, Gideon, I am so hurt that you would talk about my patron like that.
Oh, I was talking about the guy we killed.
Oh, yes, that guy.
Oh
Good guy.
yeah, that guy sucked.
Oh yeah, screw that guy.
All right, so what you
Hmm.
thinking? Got
So
a
we put it
plan
up to
there?
a vote.
Rolling around. The heat.
Seems we have
is
two
starting to make
options. So we put it up to a vote.
All right.
Well, I only got one input in this, is that
You don't get a vote.
I may be able to help with the false dead god sort of things.
What do you mean?
With from the history that I know.
I mean, I think having Khalid as a escape plan is a good idea, but don't know if we need everyone to be there. But I'm feel a little uneasy about going in there during the ritual thing. As some would say, they would fear going into the temple with, maybe that they would go up in some flame or something because of walking in.
All right. So splitting
Let's
the party
vote.
then.
I mean, well,
All right.
how useful will we really be outside the temple? We know there's military guarded up outside of it.
I think we all get in there together, and then we can. I worry that if we separate, then ultimately what we're doing is just trying to come back together, anyways.
Do we?
Wait. What are we doing?
We just want to
I mean,
pay Khalid enough to stand outside and look like a dum dum. We'll go inside and come out running, get the horse ready, ready to get out of here, or whatever the bloody animal is.
yes. I mean, if we do have to leave in a rush, we don't want to get lost.
Well, that's
So
what
even
our
if he just runs
reptilian
like
friend
mad
here is
with
for.
us. It's true.
Well, I do have ways to get us out of situations quickly. It's expensive for me to cast such thing, but I have ways.
Really.
I think Khalid just gives us an additional option. We don't have to use
Yeah,
it.
that way too.
Might be that he just fucking sits in the desert for a week and never does anything and goes home and spends his gold. I've never seen a
Or
dead man spend gold, so all this gold in our bag of holding is burning a hole.
I mean, even if he is just literally a plan B, I mean, what if something happens? I mean, I hope it doesn't, sir. What if something happens to Usk while we're in there, and then we come running out screaming with our ass on fire?
Literally.
Maybe literally.
Missing a leg.
I'm not losing a leg. I'll kill someone first. I'm just saying. I need both of these.
I'm counting on it, Gideon. I'm counting on it. So it sounds like the two options are split the party, half scout the outside, half go inside for the ritual, or everyone goes inside for the ritual and we pay Khalid a little bit of money to kind of be our getaway driver, plan B or C. I'm fine. I'm fine either way.
I think we should all go in. And Alana, if you're concerned with how you look or anything like that, I mean, the clothing choices here, I think, make it easy. to help you blend in more.
Plus,
Yeah,
we're
so
going
help
with a
me
lizard.
blend in
That's true.
more. Yeah.
Well, we could wrap it up.
While we're
Where are
sitting
these
at
great turbans here?
Bungo slides the scroll across to Usk and says, you can probably use this when the time is right. I've not found a case to use it. I slide him the scroll of slow that we had taken from Sithicus.
I say we hire Khalid. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a majority. I'm gonna give Memnock like 10 gold. Go find Khalid. I'll give a message through him to get him here. So I'm gonna have Memnock just go and try and find Khalid, like in the bar or where, like, because we said just to meet back up there, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "I'll be around," so I'm just gonna have him go.
Yeah,
find
you're
him.
able to find him relatively easy.
So when Memnock gets there, he'll like walk up in front of him, hold the bag of gold out, and then I'll speak through Memnock. Khalid, I know this is strange, but I'm with the party you spoke to yesterday. We'd love to meet with you back in the tent if you could. Here's some gold as a sign of good faith. And I'll have Memnock throw him the little baggie of
He's
gold.
looking at it real strangely as he grabs it. Very well, I will see you soon.
He leaves a little like soot and ash on the bar.
Tinks. He finds you pretty quickly. 10 gold or however much. Yeah, 10 gold just to,
10 gold.
first time.
Just to get him there.
Yeah, he comes. Oh yes, hello friends. You've come to need my help then.
Yes. We're gonna be performing the cleansing ritual, and we'd just like to hire you as well, just to follow us from behind, keeping yourself hidden, and then waiting for us somewhere at the temple, perhaps with some mode of transportation, camels or the like, as a precaution.
Yeah, we anticipate.
We would like a ride when we're done.
Yes.
Yeah, we anticipate maybe going on mission or going, to spread the word of soul or something, and you come highly recommended as a.
Well, I might be able to handle that. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it'd be too cheap.
What are you thinking?
Got that heavy bag. Oh.
What bag? This thing? It's full of dirty laundry. The whites.
I want 15,000 gold pieces. You guys had said. So to be waiting in the wings, possibly run into trouble with.
We want rations, water, an animal to carry each of us, and safe passage from the Ivory
500
Temple.
gold pieces.
500 gold pieces would set you up as a pasha in this place. Let's be real.
No, I will. That's a good payday, but I also have to get all the animals, the water. I want to make sure that it's not just super easy for people to figure out where I'm getting it from.
You keep the animals afterwards.
Well, they might not survive. So, yeah, I think it's a fair price.
Make beef jerky.
400. And you keep the animals if they live.
Give me a persuasion roll.
That's incentive.
Oh, I don't even have my dice out. We've just been role playing, baby.
That's enough to start your own company. I mean,
We have so much fucking money.
You can always leave it to PCs though. They'll haggle for like a gold piece for one beer. I don't know if I'm paying those prices.
23.
Fine. Keep And if yes, okay. How about this? 400, but I get an extra 200 if it is a hot escape and I get you out of there. If not, then I just keep it. If it's just whatever, I'll keep the 400.
Deal.
Deal. Deal on my part.
Deal. I'll give him a handshake.
And if you don't show, the imp haunts you for the remainder of your days.
Oh, I have no worries about that. I'll show up. So you guys, are you all going into cleansing? Is your plan together?
I think
Not
that's the
splitting it?
plan.
Going with plan
Yeah.
C.
Yeah. Let's take our break here, and we'll begin there.
Hell yes.
Oh,
That was so fun.
alrighty, we'll be back in 15
That was a great
minutes.
planning moment.
That's good.
Yep, that was around the table.
Voice 1 and 2 on screen. Good. All right, we're back.
Hey!
Hey.
Our group has decided to
Hey.
convert to the religion of the sun and
Not all of us.
become followers. And that's how we'll end the campaign. It's been fun.
You live here forever.
Like
Yep.
and subscribe.
And you die miserable deaths. It's terrible. Short, miserable existence.
Oh, glad
So
glad to
it's
be
not.
here, guys. Glad to be a guest appearance.
I'm out of here. Yeah, first
Yep.
time. All right,
Yep.
we're out. Record time. Uh, you guys find that priest at the temple that you guys had spoken to before, who kind of offered. He's easy to find. He's out trying to convert the unconverted. Um, he's most delighted to hear that you've decided to join the congregation.
We just think it's the right thing to do. Being in these lands, we see the power of soul above us. It just it feels right at this time.
Well, we will be heading for the tomb later, so you won't need anything for the trip.
We don't need to pack provisions or arrange
No, Soul,
transportation.
Soul and Kefri, our high priest, will take care of all that.
How long will the journey be?
We'll take 4 spins of the hourglass, which would be 2 days.
Okay.
But we have ways of making, thanks to our gifts from Soul, we can make the trip as comfortably as it can be made, crossing open desert. Are you ready?
We just wait here, or
No. We step forward to your future. Let us go.
okay.
Now, in a few hours, you guys gather your
Oh,
stuff and you meet up with a few other individuals who appear to be taking the step, taking the plunge. Before they gather together with a few camels and things like that, they tell
Do
you
the
to
other
stay
people
close.
look excited? Sorry.
Yeah.
Or do they look like, well, let's go do this?
Give me an insight roll. So they don't look like they're there against their will or like, oh my God, why? But let me get an insight check.
18.
One of them appears to be very excited. He's a younger man. He appears to have a strong faith. The other guy, with you, well, with Ren as well. You guys get the feeling that maybe this is a way out. Like he doesn't look got a kind of
Yeah, he's
look
sort
a
of
shady look
ho
to him.
hum.
Yeah. But you've heard of sometimes
Yeah,
joining the military or the
join the enemy.
religion.
Yeah.
The next few days are uneventful. At one point, Bungo could swear he saw or he felt that rumble under the sand again, but he must have
Ben
just
Dappler.
been thinking back. Maybe.
Fucking Ben. Come
It's
back
Ben
to the
Dappler.
sandworm.
But he tells you to stay close, as fairly close to the lead guide and
Oh,
the camel.
we should have made a plan with Khalid, like where from the temple would we need to go to meet up, like where he's gonna be.
Yeah.
We would have
You
done
guys
that
are,
before we
yeah.
left.
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry. Uh, you guys realize the closer you are to the camel, the less brutal the heat and the sun. Uh, you don't know what's going on, but if you guys have strayed too far away, it starts to beat down on you like it normally does. And, uh, but those days pass fairly uneventful. At the beginning of you guys rest a few times. you guys see something if you out in the distance. You hear that priest you guys met been leading you. Ah, we approach the ivory tomb. Look now, your futures begin within those four walls. Rising majestically from the endless expanse of golden sands, the ivory tomb appears to be a colossal pyramid. Gleams in the sun, white, sort of white sandstone, perhaps. Not marble, as you guys are, well, you're still pretty far away, but some sort of white sandstone. Its surface shimmers under the relentless sun. The sheer size dwarfs any of the surrounding landscape, which really isn't much. Um, its smooth sloping sides reflecting the brilliance of the sun. What really catches your attention, even that, I mean, it's super impressive. It's a large, I mean, it's huge. It's huge. Um, However, what actually catches your attention as you approach a little closer, even more than the giant, impressive pyramid, is what surrounds it. Surrounding the ivory tomb is a formidable military presence, a testament to the strength and power and discipline of this high priest Kefri. You see the ranks as you guys get closer, kind of, you're still pretty far away, but this encampment is a large military presence. You start to see some of the military. You see humans clad in intricately designed armor. There's some half elves. Um, but what really catches your attention, and you know immediately what they are, even though you just heard of them, is dotted throughout, and usually in groups of two, three, four. You see these impressive warriors. They're imposing, towering, jackal-headed warriors who stand an impressive 9 feet tall. These fearsome guardians wield what appear to be bronze weapons, though their craftsmanship looks uh, mastercraft. Their eyes glinting with a fierce intelligence. They catch your attention. They all just kind of glare at you, look at you.
Really wonderful.
What's
They
the
all look identical, or are they like?
That's a good question.
Are there
So they
variations?
definitely do, in the sense that, man, that's a good question. Give me an insight roll.
Okay,
Because
I'm just wondering.
passing by, yes, they all kind of look at. They use different weapons. Like
Right,
some will have different weapons. Like they'll have
right.
like.
I guess I'm wondering more
I hear what you're saying. I know exactly what
like,
you're
are
asking.
they more individual, or are
Yeah,
they
or is
more
it just
like,
some sort of like? Yeah, I get it.
yeah,
It's a great question.
creation? Insight is 12.
It'd just be a waste.
From what you can see, they appear to be different in the sense that they're not exactly 9 feet tall, all of them. Some are slightly taller, some are slightly shorter. So you notice that. And so
Okay.
they don't look like they're necessarily exact copies.
What percentage do you think is the Jackal Warriors? Like as we're seeing this, yeah,
Number, low percentage.
low. Okay.
So 1.5%. Like they're
Okay.
not. But they just roam and they do what they want. You've noticed these little pockets, like they do what they want. Everyone gets out of their way.
They're easy to spot because
But
they're
that being said,
feet higher than everybody
yeah,
else.
exactly. And that being said, though, there's still a decent, you know, maybe a dozen or more, 2 dozen that you see. So there's a lot of soldiers. There's massive tents. Beneath the shifting sands, you see something else that catches your attention. He says, "Stay close to me." As we approach, as you guys get approach to these giant military tents and stuff that are up around this pyramid. As you approach, you see that beneath the shifting sands, these lines start to appear on the outskirts around the temple. Or, I'm sorry, the pyramid. And you see the mottled purple skin of familiar-looking worms kind of writhe up, and they almost look like as if they're creating kind of ripples in the dunes. These colossal creatures serve as what appear to be guardians and scouts. Above
Oh my god.
the temple, or above the pyramid, another sight catches your attention. 4 wyverns circle the sky, their wings casting shadows over the pyramid as they spin around. One of them kind of lands on the side for a second as it kind of looks before it takes off again. And at the base of the ivory tomb, a massive white tent stands at the hub of activity. It's go ahead, Bungo.
I would just whisper to Ren as we're walking up, strengths and weaknesses. You know, look at those ranks. Any weaknesses? You know,
He's wondering. He's like, I bet their feet are huge. God damn it, dude.
dog feet. Can't grip the sand.
Yeah, no, he's on it. He's on it. A massive white tent stands at the hub of activity, its fabric billowing gently in the hot desert breeze. This grand structure is surrounded by a dozen smaller tents, each bustling with soldiers and strategists. Uh, the air is thick with the scent of spices and sound of clanging metal as warriors sharpen their weapons.
I whisper to, or I
What do you
say to
see?
one of the other people, what are they preparing for? So maybe the zealot, the one that's really excited about being there, like, what are they preparing for?
Oh, I'm sure the answers will become soon. The path will become clear and you'll be enlightened. When that time comes, you'll understand. You'll know the way. For this is the way.
You're right. You're right, brother. You're right. Thank
Do
you.
you know the way?
um, I'm gonna actually no, never mind.
As you guys are led past it all, you come to um, this big entrance. Looks like the stone is slid open. It's almost, you know. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly how big it is.
That's what he said.
Heyo.
Ooh.
My mind went there, but I didn't want to say anything.
So it is 1,200 feet across at its base. So give you a comparison, the Great Pyramid of Giza is about 750 at its base. So this is not
Like twice
double
as
the
big,
size, but
but
close.
almost.
But yeah, yeah, but about like 75%,
Yeah,
175
3/4.
or whatever. Um, and it stands roughly probably 600 feet. As you guys enter, this part you can see that this was built for things to roll into, chariots and wagons, um, and as you go, there's a lot of that kind of going on. You kind of walk past that, and then they take you off to a side entrance as you kind of walking through. See Ren's keeping eye on. And I don't necessarily know if keen mind does, unless it says particularly you never get lost. Does it say that?
Uh,
It just says you remember everything, which is interesting.
get
We can make an
lost.
art discussion. But either way, he's being very mindful of you guys, where you guys are going. And as he does, but as you go, he says, "Soon your time is upon us." I'm excited. As you guys make your way through, you realize this is quite a large complex, but it seems fairly simple and unused. A lot of it seems unused, um, meaning like you don't see entrances to get up higher or lower, or you know. As you guys approach this door, bronze door, he says, "So it begins. Let us enter." And
Can
then
I-
opens a bronze door, and there's this circular room, large circular room with a dais. Yep, go ahead. Uh,
So far from all the different routes he's uh taking us through and inspecting this big giant bronze door, the architecture. Uh, so from my archaeologist background, it says I could potentially determine the original purpose or the builders of places. So I was wondering, through trying to take everything in as he's taking us through, to taking in any artistic, the architecture and the door itself, do I glean anything of the history of this place?
you get the feeling, unlike most pyramids that you are aware of, that this is more than a tomb. and that it was originally built for much more than that. Um, Clearly, there's a military aspect as well, but you think there's something more that is not. It's you've never seen one that's used for so much more than just housing the dead.
Yeah. I'd like
And I did
to.
forget. There's one more. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One
Yes.
other thing I'll be keeping a lookout is, like I previously mentioned, any pathways that they haven't discovered yet. Maybe secret doors, panels
Okay.
along the way.
Um,
Well, it's-
what what exactly is the situation like right now? I want to know if could cast a spell.
So yeah,
If
let
that would
me.
be like really weird right now.
Yep. No, I knew I found that thing I wanted to find too. So you get a better sense of it too. As you come through, the air here is thick with the scent of incense and the faint echo of whispered prayers. The walls of the pyramid. Oh yeah, you already know that part. You see, however, there's like hieroglyphics um, and drawings, pictographs um, throughout. There's intricate carving that tell tales of ancient battles and celestial blessings. The light filtering through the narrow slits in the stone cast elongated shadows in this base level as you're going through, creating an atmosphere both kind of reverent yet foreboding. You're guided by your priest friend now. You traverse winding corridors and the sound of footsteps muffled by the soft sand-like substance that covers the floor. The flickering torches illuminate the path, revealing the fervent devotion of the followers of Sol who kneel in prayer. Their faces turned toward the radiant symbol the sun emblazoned on the wall, which is kind of the theme as you're going. Each step deeper into the pyramid feels like a descent into a sacred yet sinister realm, where the very air seems charged with the weight of unspoken secrets. As the door opens to the vast room before you, as he opens this room that you come to, there's a raised dais at the center that stands in stark contrast to the smooth white walls and surface etched with runes that pulse faintly with golden light. Surrounding the dais, the walls are adorned with vibrant murals depicting the sun god's soul in all his glory, surrounded by celestial beings and the faithful who have come before. Hieroglyphics weave throughout the images, telling stories of redemption and sacrifice. Above the dais, three mirrors hang at odd angles, their surface shimmering with an unearthly sheen. You see that there are six of those 9 foot tall warriors, three on each side of the circular room. Not side, but yeah, I guess as you come in, big dais. There's these other areas that are clear for people to stand, um, as they kind of all push you together.
What's the
Push you.
guard presence? Is it just the six jackal heads?
There's no, well, yes, well, there's those guys, and then there's probably at this point there's probably about a half a dozen of just the guards.
Okay.
There's some of the soldiers that came with you guys when you entered, so they're there as well. And
Gotcha.
yeah, and you're within earshot of a few more.
We can take them. um, I, w- I would be kind of working amongst our group, highlighting the fact that we are in a full on military encampment
Yeah.
Mm.
and that physical confrontation might not end well for us. Just floating it. I'm not going to shy away from a fight if we get into it, but I just want to like point out to the group that there's hundreds of, if not thousands of people here.
I'm keep my mouth shut. You take the lead, Bungo. You've done us right this whole time.
You see that priest comes up now, kind of a serious look on his face. Quiet now. The sacred place. Get in your positions. Kind of ushers you around the dais in the middle. You're pushed around over there. He says, High Priest Kefri himself will soon be here. You see at this, you see there's a flash of brilliant light, like sunlight, and on the dais, you see there's a man standing there. High Priest Kefri, you assume. He's a figure. He reminds you like he looks as if he's etched from the sandstone of the desert. You know, he's got a kind of an unwavering kind of stern look about him with um, a roadmap of wrinkles carved by years of no doubt pious devotion and more than likely righteous anger. He has that look about him. He holds no hint of warmth, only cold judgment. Um, as he stands there, he you do see something that does else that catches your eye. Sorry, he carries the symbols of his authority with uh, a crook in one hand, representing his guidance, no doubt, and dominion over his flock, and a towering staff in the other. An ornate ankh, the symbol of eternal life, hangs around his neck.
Do I
Welcome.
recognize the crook that is in his hand from any of my previous adventures?
Uh, what's your passive perception?
16. It's not great, but
It definitely, you haven't seen it before, but it looks like what you're looking for. As he appears, we do have something. Are you
Human.
human? Sorry, yes, human. Older gentleman,
Human.
probably in his 50s. But he's just wearing like imagine religious the kind of heavy robes because they're in indoors. Um, his hat is kind of the tall one. It's a little Egyptian themed. Is kind of the idea. He's got that ankh and he's holding a he's got a staff in one hand and a crook in the other. Um,
He's got the
not like a
cook's
shepherd's
helmet.
crook, like a small, like a
Yeah,
like a hand
I'm
crook.
tracking. I'm
Like
with
a
you.
small, like a pocket crook. uh, as he appears, everybody just kind of bows their head. All the Anubis headed or the Anubis looking jackal headed creatures um, kind of bow their head. Ah, new followers to the flock. I only have one regret or one problem, and that is that you haven't come sooner. But alas, cannot pay for transgressions in the past if you're ready to move forward. Accept the sun's warm embrace, soul's gaze upon you. Do not be false in these hollowed grounds. With that, he disappears in a flash.
No.
He doesn't come from anywhere. He just enters and then
He's
leaves.
literally when he appeared, it was like a flash of sunlight. Like you guys were like, ah, and then when he disappeared, it's kind of the same thing. It wasn't quite as bright, but there's just a flash, and he's
Do we, does Bungo have any
yep.
sense of whether entertaining this blessing or ritual for soul would conflict with his pact oath maker or palantir or whatever it is. I mean, we
Uh,
can assume that it's a big conflict potentially with
well,
the
it
war.
depends on what it is too. Like so,
Like
you are not
Aslan
a
Rex
typical yeah, and you're not a
would not.
typical paladin. And oath maker kind of is trying to guide you, like pull you slowly. He's not over like even as overbearing as he is. He's not like gives you leeway in certain ways because he's trying to. But even then, so I don't think you have to worry about that unless you are literally going to sign a pact with something, or
Yeah. Okay.
if you were doing it falsely all the time, just as an easy way to
Yeah.
get out of things, sure, that might be, but in this situation, you wouldn't think that would clash. You probably even talked to Oathmaker about it, at
Do we
least
do we
when,
have any sense whether Soul is like a goodly aligned
You don't. It
presence?
just seems to be like the sun, like in a lot of interpretation. Now, what you get from these guys is
Yeah.
it's the kind of, yeah, the sun is harsh, and yeah, the sun is deadly, and yeah, the sun will beat you down, but without the sun, all is lost, and you must respect it. Um, and with the sun and soul, particularly, you do kind of get the sense that there's some separation there. Like it is interchangeable, but it appears that they do worship not the sun, but soul, this god. Um,
I'm like
you
feeling loose alignment between like Dawn Father and
you definitely don't get
Soul.
good, or
Oh,
you're getting some pretty lawful neutral vibes so far from what you've seen.
okay. All
Like
right.
kind of
Yeah,
So
like
I'm
harsh,
not
but
gonna like fucking burst into flame, betraying Palantir by going through this ceremony.
oh, Paladine. No, you don't
Paladine,
get that
sorry.
feeling. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Usk.
And Aslan Rex would
So,
probably be like the ends justify the means. I'm guessing for my
Well,
colleagues.
um,
That's not my business, but I'm thinking about my colleagues.
yeah, that's what you would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usk.
so my one question is, just before High Priest he disappears in the flash of light, do I notice any, like, him pressing anything, saying any words, any magical force
Yeah, you can give me
being emitted from the walls or something?
yeah,
I
you
just
can
want to
give me
see if
a.
I'd glean any kind of magical base
Yep.
from the stuff he's.
You can make a perception roll or an arcana check, and that's whether or not you were trying to see if you saw something or if you understand something of what kind of magic was
Mm.
I see him looking perplexed, and I just cast detect magic
in the
How do you
room.
look?
in the room. Can I do it?
There's no spell casting in here. No. You see, he runs off. You see those, all six of those guards take a step forward as you. I know you're
Okay.
not.
Oh, he's so
Just
sorry.
understand.
while they're all looking at her, I'm gonna subtle spell detect magic.
There is no magic in this room
Okay, do I get anything from the
apart
jackals?
from what.
Yeah, but yeah,
Um,
apart from what I would expect.
yeah, no, you would. I'm sorry. There, you would. I meant the room itself. The
No, yeah,
jackals,
yeah. I
their
was just
armor, which is very much like the Egyptian style kind, and weapons all glow magic.
what glows on
They
Usk.
themselves do not glow magical.
Okay, what glows on Usk?
What you can see, what I would say you can see, and you can correct me. I don't think I'm gonna give it away anything. Is you'll see that his bracers probably glow as he's talking and stuff, and I think otherwise you probably wouldn't necessarily see any.
Bracers. You'd see a ring
Oh, the ring. Yeah,
and
sorry.
something hidden in a bag somewhere.
Yeah.
And would a familiar get detected through that?
I would think so because they're like technically a
It's a summoned
spirit and a
creature.
magically created thing, but
Yeah, I would agree.
it's up
We'll
to
say that for now.
interpretation.
Yeah.
So you'd see the snake
Yeah,
glow with magic as well.
didn't need detect magic for that.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah. Okay,
At this
but
point, they
I just look at Alana.
this is
as,
my roll. I'd ended rolling Arcana. I got
oh yeah,
18.
yeah. You didn't see him cast a spell. You know that there are ways to do that, but you don't know if that's what happened, if he's some sort of sorcerer or what, but you didn't see him cast a spell, and so you're not sure exactly, at least on that side.
Fair enough.
That seems perplexing
Yep.
to you. 'Cause that's if he did just teleport, is basically what you're thinking. But as you guys are kind of pushing he's quiet now. And it's dark in here, and who doesn't have dark vision? Anybody not have dark vision?
I can look through Memnock though if I need to. So
Um, but don't you use your vision to look through Memnock eyes?
yeah, but I think I gain the benefits of his dark vision.
Fair enough. If you can't see, you can't see anything. It's basically pitch
Where's
black when they shut the door. They get you in your position and they shut the
Okay,
door.
I'll just put Memnock on my head then, and
where would we see that again?
I
Oh, I did want to make, sorry, one more big point too. I actually forgot about Memnock. So when you first entered the pyramid, he became visible against his will. And
okay.
it immediately turned into a rat or whatever, or spider or whatever
Yeah, sure.
called on you. And he basically tells you, he's like, I don't know why, but I can't be invisible
Okay.
while I'm in here.
Okay,
I
that's fine.
I have no dark soul ratters ever, but in a similar case, familiar. He doesn't have darkness, but he has blind sight for 10 feet. That's the best I've got.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah.
as the door shuts, it's pitch black there for a second. And they look around, and so there's 7 of you total there, right?
Bungo.
Including the
Stay
other 2.
close. Stay close.
We're gonna be
Grab
eight
Gideon.
8 people because there's 2 others, right? And 6 of us, including Ren.
Get one of them walks over and grabs you. Feel the priest grab your arm. You'll be first, Gideon. He leads you up over on a thing. He says, "There, strip bare. Cleanse yourself."
Start taking it off. I take it for the team, man. It takes me like what, 15 minutes to take my full plate off?
No, he'll help you, and it's much less taking it off, but it does take a few minutes to
Yeah.
unhook and yeah.
Probably feels actually quite liberating right now.
Exactly. That's so funny. He was as you said that, he's like, my son, because I was literally about to say, do you feel the weight of the burden of your life falling off already?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, for this is a new day. As you strip down and climb up on the dais, you're left vulnerable kind of in front of the assembly. Now, speak your failures and transgressions. Lay it here and leave it in this chamber.
I once killed a man for the better of my party. The action was not needed, but I just did it. Like I was influenced. Like I couldn't help it.
There's a heavy burden.
The
You leave it here
heaviest.
now. You're lifted from it. The spoken truth. Any other transgressions, failures? No, now is the time. Speak them.
Do I feel any weight lifted off me after that?
I don't know, do you? I mean, is that the first
No.
time you said it like that? And kind of
Yeah.
just said it out loud and admitted to being a bad thing? Because
Yeah.
if so, then yeah, I would say that you probably feel better after saying it. You probably felt bad to say it and then great afterwards. Do not be afraid. Speak it. Whatever it is.
I had companions. Ones that I thought I cared about. That I led them. I led them the wrong way once. And it was not good for them. Somehow I made it out. But what the fuck? I feel like that's on me.
Heavy burden.
Yeah.
Mantle of leadership. People forget that you must share in the failures. Sometimes be the only one. Spoken truth.
Do we get to say good deeds here? Or is this just no? No? Okay. Sorry.
The good deeds lifts your soul. It lightens the weight of your soul. Whereas these other deeds, those do not need to be left in the dark. Are you ready then?
Yeah.
As that word leaves your lip, the ceiling above the dais begins to part, kind of grinding across, revealing the vast expanse of the sky. The blazing sun, a fiery orb, pours its light into the chamber, illuminating Gideon. The mirrors catch the sunlight, reflecting it in a dazzling display, each beam striking in turn, intensifying the heat that envelops them. Temperature rises rapidly, the air thickening with an oppressive warmth, seeps into your skin, Gideon. Igniting a discomfort that quickly escalates to borderline agony. The heat becomes unbearable, a searing reminder of their sins. And just as the pain reaches the crescendo, threatening to draw forth a scream, the ceiling slams shut and the light vanishes. The heat dissipates, leaving only the echo of the confessions and the lingering sense of, yes, silence in the room. You're part of the family now.
Thank you. Do I feel different?
And they throw a robe, one of their robes that is now your robe over you. Do you feel differently? Like your skin is red. Like you're not. It depends on if you're like a type of person who burns easily. You might even be pretty badly burnt in that way. If not, like if you're the type that doesn't, you're just red and kind of sore. Like you're on that. It was that where 10, 20 more seconds and you would have started really frying. But yeah, I mean, you don't know. I
No.
mean, do you? How does Gideon feel after all that?
Burnt.
Burnt. He puts your robe and has you stand over to the side in your spot again and then come up.
Because I had to say that out loud, right?
Yeah, you said it. Yep.
Yeah. So as I get the robe and turn around, and I just look at my party with, a little bit of somber tone before I remember I'm Gideon and my hardness comes back a little bit. Burnt.
Okay. You see at that she brings you over. Welcome, brother. Comes over next and one of the other gentlemen, the one who seems really excited, sees a young man, probably 16, 17, very kind of scrawny and pale. They go through the whole process with him, and he talks about how he used to steal from his father's date trees and some of these other you know eh, less intense transgressions. But his are there and the same routine. However, you see when the sun hits him, his body seems to be reacting to it much harsher. And when it's all said and done, because he's so kind of frail and his constitution seems kind of weak, that he's actually unconscious. He's got a few blisters and has been burnt. Um, uh, some have a hard time handling the light of soul. He will be cleansed, though his recovery will be hard. They kind of cart him off. Ah, you, come, my lady. Reaches out and grabs Alana's hand.
She tries not to roll her eyes too bad.
Lay yourself bare and step on the dais. Speak of your transgressions.
Do I have to take everything off though?
You must be true. You must be vulnerable to the world. You must be real to the world.
If any of you boys look, I'll kill you.
Ren's got binoculars.
Yeah, Rin can't see in the dark. Oh yeah, so another thing too. So everybody, if you can't see in the dark, or even if you can see in the dark, like it, like when the light hits the mirrors, it
like,
kind of ricochets. It's blinding. So it's either blinding because it went from black to, or it's like if you see the movies when you go from like night vision to, it's always like, oh, when somebody hits the light, that's kind of the same idea. Is it's a real intense light. Um, are you going up there?
Sure.
So as you get up there, approach. Uh,
I love
now
this.
lay bare the your truths, your failures and transgressions that you carry with you.
Hmm. I resent my father for leaving. My mother's dead. I killed a boy once for food on the street. Hmm. I lied through paladin training, and my power is not derived divinely, but is on my own. Pride and selfish.
You spoke truth. Is there anything else? Any other sin weighing on your heart, or was that the true Alana? Is that all of her?
I desire more of myself.
Find it through soul. With that, he says, "Are you ready then to be cleansed?"
Please.
See, you hear the grinding sound as the whole procession happens again as the heat. To you, however, it feels great. Yep.
Feels great.
Ah, hardy constitution this one has. So you will be a fine follower of soul. Puts a robe on you and has you go stand in the circle you were standing in. You
Mhm.
there, sir, with the third eye. An interesting.
I say, with me again? No, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Red's not here.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll go up.
Will you lay bare your truth? I'm grabbing water. I'm listening though. Will you lay bare your truth in front of all?
It's a funny thing. Power. You think you're bartering, trading something worthless, like your soul, for something grand. But it's not a trade. It's a slow consumption. Every spell I cast, every whisper I hear in the dark, it takes a little more of me. And I feel it, the cracks forming. The laughter that creeps in when nothing's funny. Shadows that move when they shouldn't. I know I'm slipping. Sanity's just another cost, I guess. One I already paid.
Is this what you say on the dais?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, I don't know why. Uh, he sees, you have spoken truth. Let me let you in on a little bit of a secret. Soul doesn't care. Be crazy, sane. Sort of what you do and what your faith is. Welcome, brother. Come now. Be with your people. You there, Bungo. No, short man.
Uh, Bones gets burned, by the way.
He's white. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing as the cleansing comes through, and
Yeah,
yeah. If you do, you might be sunburnt. You might be burnt in that way.
definitely.
So Bungo steps up kind of looks around and see if people can hear him or not. Can other people hear what's going on, or is it just you, me, and the high priest, or me and the priest?
No, you're all in the same room. You've heard and watched all of this.
But he doesn't want other people to hear.
That's the point of this whole ceremony. Is you have to stand in front of naked, in front of everybody, these people, and in the dark, and speak these transgressions and sins, and then leave them there and be cleansed by the light and no longer be burdened by.
Absolutely dark.
Yeah, it's pitch black in here, and unless you can see in the dark, then you.
So I get naked, but you all know how ripped I am when I'm naked. I want you to know that you can feel that.
Even in this darkness, you can see his 8-pack glistening in the darkness.
Feel the act.
Does he have a hog?
More of
I
a, yeah,
know.
it's more of a vibe.
Yes, it's a hog.
He's perfectly oiled up.
Why not? Why not? If we're faking, why not?
He's more digger than man at this point.
You know, the great sword is bigger than he is. It's my 9-year-old, by the way. I think makes jokes about how many abs he's going to have someday. I think it's hilarious. So Bungo is standing there.
Do you strip down and step up on the dais?
I'm stripped down, step up on the dais, and I assume the cool air hits my skin a little bit.
No, it's quite warm in here.
Yeah,
Impressively
yeah.
warm. Nuts are sweating, dripping.
So I'm inspired.
I'm picturing like a midget, like Hulk Hogan right now.
Yeah. As you step up, he's like, "Speak true your transgressions, your failures, lay it bare even in the darkness."
So being inspired by the others, say that I'm not a man that's easy to trust. Truth be told, I've harbored several secrets. I've, for years, many years, worked as a spy for contact back home. It seems irrelevant now, so far away and removed from those lands. But I owe a lot of money back home. And the way that I pay for that was trading in secrets, trading in knowledge. So I've danced in that dark realm. And since coming here, I've felt myself slip even further into the darkness. And I've done things that the old me wouldn't even recognize. Including suggesting murder, standing by while my colleagues did things that the old me wouldn't have approved of. But I find now that oftentimes the ends justify the means. And still not sorry about that.
Is that all true?
Yeah.
Well, you've laid bare your transgressions. Anything else you'd like to say? Lay now is your last chance. Leave behind in the darkness. What'd you say?
You heard me.
No, I actually.
No, we actually didn't.
Yeah, like cut out. Yeah.
I don't think I'm done.
You got more?
No. I've got much more, but just not now. What I mean is, I don't think I'm done with my transgression.
Gotcha. But now at least you'll be
Oh,
guided
sure.
by
Soul.
Soul's light.
Yes.
Give him the light. No. As you finish that, they open up. Yeah, And the same thing as the light pours down on you, and you feel your skin get warm and get on the verge of screaming before it finally shuts off. You there, lizard man. Come
Of
bare
course.
your lizard body. And speak
Yep.
your transgression.
I get undressed in a unusually comfy manner.
Just slithers right out of it. All right.
Pretty
You doing
much.
this?
Well, transgressions, you say, where do you begin? Well, mine's a bit muddy. It's just one. I'm going to reach down real quick and just use prestidigitation real quick just to flip my book around. Oh, yes, that. It's a time when I was young. First started beginning in the trade of work I was in. Didn't know really the true depths of wonder and greed that this sort of work can give. But it taught me many things. And one of the few things is that one shouldn't always bear, how do you say it again? One shouldn't always bear the weight of their guilt or of their actions that are out of their control upon their soul or upon themselves. So there's not much for me to truly repent about, as I do not bear the weight of those actions. They're simply out of my control. Though there are times I do wish I had just the ways to control it at that time. But alas, I was young. Stuff happens.
Of you. I know, it's just so funny
But
who said imagine if Ren. I'm like, I just was thinking too. Sorry that you wrote that because I was like, I'm actually glad Jeff wasn't here for this. He would have never made it through it.
One time.
Yeah.
I paid a stripper.
Well, just everybody's getting naked. I mean, too.
Yeah.
God, I mean, it would have been. So with that, he says, you're telling the truth, and you do appear to be somewhat of an enlightened individual in the sense that you don't have attachments. But with
just
that, he's
such
like, "Are you ready to
wonder
be
this
fled?"
place, just such wonder this place can give, such history. I'm just like constantly muttering stuff under my breath as this is all happening.
The roof opens up and the lights, reflect and bounce and slam into you as it warms up, and you feel the
It's
heat
truly wonderful engineering. I wonder how it works.
drying out your lizard skin. No. As you, no, you're able to make it through pretty easily. But you're still, I mean, again, you're warm and it hurt. It gets on the borderline of actually real true pain, but you're able to kind of muscle through it. And at that, he's like, "Well, you've all been welcomed into the Brotherhood." And the roof opens up one more time, and the mirrors kind of bounce around, and the light hits the dais this time, and it just kind of reflects the light in this blinding light. Welcome. The rays of soul reach down to touch each and every one of you. You have no use for these material items anymore. Now just part of everything you need will be provided by High Priest Kefri. The light, the door shuts, the light cuts off.
Wait, did they take my glaive?
All your stuff, all your stuff that was laying on the ground is gone. Everything you took off. And you're just standing there in your robes. You must be tired and need rest. We have a place where you could sleep.
I send my family to try and track down where they took my stuff.
Memnock's gonna catch up with him, and they're gonna go together.
It's a devil imp
Rat
riding a snake.
Well, no, he
No,
can be
he's
an
like
imp,
a
but he
rat
can't
right
be
now.
invisible. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a rat right now.
You can take
Just
my
a
shit.
simple, harmless snake traveling his way through
Kill
the
it!
temple.
Pop out. It's a rat! Dirty, filthy rat! You got a snake friend, kill him! Yeah, so you guys are led, it kind of leads you out. You guys are like tired, like physically tired from that ordeal. It was a lot. Um, and you might feel a little, you're meant to feel lighter. You let go of all these old transgressions. But you are led a little bit deeper in as you're taken to the room. You see there's about 20 beds. There's about 6 people in there, other followers, and they're just kind of, 3 of them are sleeping, a couple are talking, but it looks like about 20 people could sleep in here. Now rest. Soon, Tefri will assign you a job, and we'll have.
I'm sorry. Is there any way we could go through our old items? We have personal possessions. I have a note from my wife in there that I'd like to retrieve.
You're married? Jeez.
There's no
I
personal
don't know.
possessions anymore. We're all just one community under Soul.
I understand, but she passed away a few years ago. Would mean a lot to me.
It is time to let her go.
I don't want
She
to.
was a lovely woman. She's with Soul now.
I'm sure you could do this for me. I'm gonna subtle spell suggestion.
Okay. What are you going to suggest to him? That he can.
That he allow us to go through our items.
Okay. What's the saving throw on?
Hold on. It is Wisdom. DC 17.
Level 17 on die. Plus.
-1.
Level 20.
Damn.
Perhaps you're right.
Does it feel like we're going down, or like you see?
No, you haven't gone down or up. You don't feel like you've gained or lost a lot.
So we're still like base level from where we entered. Okay.
Yep. Soon they'll be here to assign you your job.
Fuck.
Such a particular architecture. Truly marvels at how we created today. Wonder how we did it.
Bones is just gonna start like pacing up and down this area.
I'm just like off to his side, touching the wall, investigating shit, tasting the dirt.
Which way did he leave the room?
The way you came in.
Is there only one way of egress, or are there other ways in here?
There is other way. There's another door in or it's really just another passageway or hallway that leads out.
Okay. I'm on it. I'll sit down. I'll just look around the room. Just make sure nobody comes in. You see Bones Bones is sweating, he clearly is very anxious right now. I'm gonna start casting Flux Familiars.
Are we still in that same ritual chamber with the mirrors?
No, we've been moved to another room, right?
Moved.
Yeah, with beds.
Yeah, there's a bed set up in here.
What's everybody
Um,
else looking like? Like, are they in as much panic as we are, or
No, no, they don't look like they're I mean, they have different emotions, but they're definitely not like as panicked as you are. They do seem quite. They seem to notice Bones casting his spell. Couple of them. They all seem to kind of the three that are awake kind of take notice, kind of stop talking, and kind of look over as you cast your flock of familiars.
yeah?
I shoot them a glance.
As soon as I peg that, I'm gonna push Alana. Be like, see, I told you this was a bad idea. You're always invading my. Just try to create some kind of distraction.
Yeah.
Give me a intimidation roll, Bones.
That I can do. 28.
And they just go back to talking.
I look at them and I just do like a little minor illusion or something, just like black eyes, something,
You look,
something a little spooky.
or you look at him like this, and then you turn away, and your other eyes
And
are
your
open.
other eye
You're
pop,
staring
yeah,
at
yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, okay, Jesus."
I'm gonna fix Alana's
Uh,
robe so it's good and realize.
Thanks.
Hey,
Stupid.
uh,
I
so
am
you're
stupid.
gonna send
You
your
weren't.
flock of familiars out looking for.
I just want to send them in
Yeah,
as many different directions as I can, looking for our stuff.
certainly. Um, it takes about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes before one of your familiars. I'll roll to see who it is because the snake's involved, Memnock's involved, and how many
Yeah.
others?
3 others,
So
I
five
think. Let
total.
me double check that, but 3.
my family's somewhere out there as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I threw that one in.
Probably chasing a rat down somewhere. That's probably one of your familiars.
Yeah, so it's 3 extra plus Memnock.
So many rats.
So I'll
Um,
tell I'll try and give information to Ren too, so he can try and draw out, just start to build out what the floor plan of this place is. At least from where we are outward.
yeah. Um, so it's one of your just random flock of familiars. Um, is able to kind of make his way, waiting for doors to open and kind of fly through or turn into, because they turn into rats and
Rat
stuff
and
too. Yeah,
spiders, something
yeah.
else, I
So
think.
they're going between all these forms, trying to make their way through. What you do see is that there's a area that is there's a large bronze door, and next to that, in this room, in this large bronze door, and then next to that is like a storeroom, and two of those 9 foot tall jackal headed guys are guarding what appear to be like a storeroom that you think is where your stuff is.
Okay. Looks like there's a storage room, but it's guarded by 2 of those jackal head things. I'll do like, maybe I'm stretching this, so tell me if I'm stretching it, but can I like minor illusion, just like a point of view of the door and where the jackals, even if it's rough, like
I have to look at the.
displaying what the imp would see, you know.
Yeah, I might be pushing it if you
Okay.
describe it like that. Like you
Maybe
might be
just
able to
rough
like.
shapes.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to reread it,
Yeah,
but we'll
yeah,
say yeah
that's
for
fine.
now. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's basically like a room with a side room for storage attached with that bronze door. Um, and it's a few rooms away, or it's not right next to you guys, but it's not too far, so you'd have to make your way past a few it, things, a few obstacles if that's where you're trying to get to, or whatever. But
It's just the familiars and uh, Usk's familiar, right? That's seeing this. So like the rest of us can't really comment.
no, it's actually Bones. I rolled it. It was one of Bones' block of familiars,
Mhm.
one of his familiars.
Right, but we couldn't ask Ren to kind of incite the race, right?
No.
No, no.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, what do we think?
So Bones, do you have a path to that room?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I
telling Reds.
can. Okay, I can go invisible and see what I can do.
It's not a bad idea. The problem is, what do we do when we meet those jackals? We'll have to get them out somehow. We can't fight them without our things.
Right, we need a proper distraction.
Yes.
Indeed you do. And we'll find out next time on Dragon.
Oh boy.
That way you guys can kind of think about it.
Yeah.
What your plan is. I loved the panic and just dread of your items being.
It's the worst thing. You know it's the worst thing.
So
Please
as
tell them
mo-
so it funds the temple and blah blah blah.
Yeah, this is a
As
fucking
much-
scam. This is a goddamn. Oh wait, I'm not gonna talk about
I
this
think they're
because
funding this military.
you have to subscribe for $139.99. I think.
I believe that's the current going rate.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
with including that's with.
If they're not
inflation
supposed
and,
to know about a
Dow
secret
Jones.
Patreon page. God.
The gold value has dropped.
Now, as much as I love that, as much as the idea of doing that is awesome, I've trying to figure out situations without shit like that. It's, I love it.
Fuck. We have Arcanus Rebirth coming up this Tuesday, and we'll be back here for another session of When Black Roses Bloom next Saturday.
Hell yeah. I can't wait.
With our beautiful Brit and you know our savvy Ren should be back. So all right.
Well, can't wait for that interaction.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
It'll take
Oh,
45 minutes. All right. You guys have a good night.